Live from Arkansas streaming news leader, this is THV 11 Morning News at 7 on THV 11 Plus.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on THV 11 Plus. It's off to a great start on your Tuesday morning. Ashley is here with your traffic. Karen back with us, and new to the desk. Hey, we hate it when Tracy feels bad, but I will say it's very good to see you, Nathan Scott.
Well, it's great to see you guys. I don't like seeing you this early in the morning. Usually I'm sleeping still or exercising. Usually I'm exercising.
You're halfway home, I'll say that. What are you doing, the Vine?
Oh, he's doing the noon.
Noon and streaming too.
You're a quarter of the way home. Congratulations.
Yeah, maybe
doesn't make you feel any better.
1/6. But thank you for getting early. Tracy not feeling well. We hope she's back tomorrow. And in the meantime, this cooling trend is kind of warming up again.
Yeah. Last time I was here, we dealt with winter weather.
Ugh.
So we had the winter chill out there right now this morning.
And if you're wanting it for Christmas, well, forget about
it. May not happen.
First, we have to look at what's on the roads.
Yes, I love the fact that RDOT is prepared at all times for this winter weather. We're good to go there. Don't have to worry about that today, though. We're good. We're good.
We don't. Yesterday, we did have that heat cranked up. You may need that again this morning, too. It was very, very cold yesterday morning when you were getting in that vehicle. But this morning, not so bad. Of course, we'll get that full forecast from Nathan here in just a couple of minutes. But let me show you what's going on our roads first. We have a beautiful sunrise, a lot of color in the sky, and we have a lot of color with these brake lights, too, here at the North Terminal Interchange. A lot of volume as we're now in the 7 o'clock hour. You can see it's really starting to increase. This is looking down 30 towards downtown Little Rock as they're headed towards the Arkansas River Bridge. And we just had a couple of accidents that popped up here. This looks like they're around the bean field. And actually, let me go ahead and just click on what's going on right here so we can see. It's an accident, right-hand shoulder blocked due to a crash I-40 eastbound after exit 135. And I'm not sure if this is the same. No, it looks like we have two accidents that are back-to-back. This is right-hand shoulder blocked due to a crash I-40 eastbound before exit 129. So just be aware that that's going to cause some slowdowns as you're coming in from Mayflower and Conway towards Little Rock this morning. And we also have our slowdowns that we typically see on 30 eastbound around Alexander. Not too bad, though, there right before you get to Alexander, and another slowdown, too, in front of the Bass Pro Shop right before the 430 interchange. It's starting to look pretty slow, too, on 57. What was 167 southbound around the McCain exit. It's 34 miles per hour, and also there where we were looking on our live traffic camera just a few minutes ago, moving very slowly, 16 miles per hour at the interchange with I-40 and I-30. Our drive times into downtown Little Rock definitely increasing because of those accidents that I was just showing you on Interstate 40 coming from Conway, 28 minutes to downtown Little Rock. Still looking good if you're coming from Saline County and Cabot, a little bit slower than it was just a few minutes ago, and increasing as we're looking here, 22 minutes into downtown Little Rock. And we'll check this again coming up in just a few minutes and get more details on those accidents on Interstate 40. Nathan?
Well, out there this morning, it is chilly, but not as frigid as what we dealt with yesterday morning when the mercury plunged down into the teens. It's 10 degrees warmer in Little Rock, 20 degrees warmer in Clinton, 11 degrees warmer in Camden, and 17 degrees warmer in Stuttgart. Temperatures 29 here in Little Rock, 29 in Arkadelphia, but it's 39 in Russellville, 40 in Fort Smith, and 35 in Stuttgart. And we're seeing this wide variety of temperatures because where the winds have gone calm, it's gotten chilly. Where the winds are elevated, that keeps the air stirred up and prevents it from getting too cold. It's the wind chill of 39 right now in Russellville. Looks like the coldest wind chill I can find is 23 over towards West Memphis. Highs today, it's going to be warmer out there. We'll see increasing clouds. We're dry today, but the numbers will climb up into the low to mid 50s, and that's closer to where we should be for this time of year. Average high is right around 51 or 52 degrees. Like I said, we're dry today, but the chance of showers will build their way in here later tonight and into your Wednesday. It's a small chance, but I'll have a look at future radar coming up.
All right, Nathan, thank you, sir. We begin this morning with an update on the deaths of movie director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle, a case that continues to send shockwaves throughout Hollywood.
According to police, someone killed the couple inside their Brentwood, California home Sunday, and since then, their youngest son is now in custody in connection with the killings.
Investigators are still working to determine what led up to the deaths as the entertainment industry reacts to this loss. CBS's Bradley Blackburn has the very latest.
At Rob Reiner's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, fans left flowers Monday to honor a man at the center of American entertainment for decades.
I think Rob Reiner was a fantastic, talented storyteller and actor, and moreover, he was just a really, really kind, decent human being.
Reiner and his wife Michelle were found dead Sunday, stabbed multiple times in their home in the Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles. Their bodies were discovered by their daughter, who called 911. LAPD arrested Reiner's 32-year-old son, Nick.
Nick Reiner, a suspect in this case, he was subsequently booked for murder and is being held on $4 million bail.
Bail has since been revoked, and Nick Reiner is being held at this correctional facility. He has a history of substance abuse problems and stints in rehab, but appeared often with his dad, including recently at the September premiere of Spinal Tap 2. Reiner, who was known for his political activism, was also remembered in Washington.
Our prayers go out to the Reiner family, the survivors, and everybody who's affected by this.
But President Trump has drawn criticism for what he said after the news.
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned.
I think President Trump should have said nothing.
Former Presidents Obama and Clinton were among those who paid tribute to Reiner, with Clinton writing Reiner inspired and uplifted millions. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
More now on the deadly mass shooting at Brown University. Investigators in Providence, Rhode Island have not yet found whoever shot and killed 2 people, wounding 9 others Saturday afternoon. Police have released this new surveillance video showing a masked person in dark clothing near campus, and they are offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. Federal authorities warn the suspect is armed and dangerous. Authorities say they do not believe there's an immediate threat to the public, but with no one in custody, security remains heightened around campus and surrounding neighborhoods.
The sooner we can identify that person, the sooner we can, I think, blow this case open.
This is an effort to put handcuffs on somebody, and it takes a whole team to do that.
Classes are canceled, many students have left campus, and several victims remain in the hospital, some of them in critical condition.
On Monday, President Donald Trump signed an executive order reclassifying fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. The president took that step even as federal data show drug overdose deaths in the United States fell last year to their lowest level in 5 years. Under the order, President Trump directed Attorney General Pam Bondi to aggressively prosecute anyone connected to fentanyl trafficking. The administration is also instructed to target any groups that support the manufacturing, sale, or distribution of the drug.
We want to give the money to the people and let the people buy their own great health care. And they'll save a lot of money, and it'll be great.
That's President Trump Friday explaining why he opposes extending the current Affordable Care tax credits and instead supports a system that sends money directly to individuals rather than insurance companies.
His position has left millions of Americans uncertain about what comes next for their health care coverage, while lawmakers on Capitol Hill face a very tight deadline to act.
If Congress does not extend the subsidies by the start of the new year, millions of people nationwide, including thousands in Arkansas, could see their insurance costs rise.
THV 11's Tamer Knight breaks down what that could mean and how local groups are helping people navigate the potential changes. Good morning, Tamer.
Well, good morning, Karen and Hayden. On Capitol Hill, lawmakers are racing against the clock. But here in Arkansas, families are bracing for a potential surge in health care costs. President Trump says he does not support extending Affordable Care Act premium tax credits, but instead he is in favor of a system that would send money directly to individuals instead of insurance companies. That stance is now putting millions of Americans, including more than 140,000 Arkansans, at risk of paying more for their health insurance. If Congress does not extend the subsidies by the new year, families who rely on them could see their monthly premiums jump, in some cases by hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Groups that help Arkansans enroll in coverage say that uncertainty is already causing stress for families trying to plan ahead for next year.
This is going to have a huge impact on lower to middle income families who aren't eligible for Medicaid but don't have other coverage options. So these are people who are buying insurance.
The premium tax credits are refundable credits designed to help individuals and families afford insurance purchased through the Affordable Care Act, lowering their monthly premiums. But to put things more into perspective, according to Arkansas Advocates for Children and Families, one mother of 3 saw her monthly premium increase from $62 to $404. Another family saw their costs rise from just $19 a month to more than $3,000, with their coverage still staying the same. Now, at this time, lawmakers in Washington say negotiations are ongoing, but a decision must be solidified by the end of the year. For THV 11 News, I'm Tamer Knight.
Tamer, thank you. Now we're taking a closer look this morning at the complexity between due process and accountability in domestic abuse cases. Even when victims are facing dangerous and traumatizing circumstances, navigating the justice system in search of protection can feel like an even steeper and more difficult path. Reporter Bo Russell brings us the story of one woman working through that struggle firsthand.
Adia Anastasio says she's been trying for years to get help after leaving an abusive relationship.
He has stalked me across multiple states. I had hospital reports with counts of the abuse, concussions.
She says that asking for help has been frustrating, and she's concerned by a lack of urgency.
They said that since he hasn't been violent recently, they cannot issue a new restraining order.
I reached out to Fayetteville Police to see if they could explain why getting a protective order might be so difficult. Police say they enforce protective orders.
We work on the front end when it comes to the finding of the evidence.
But that they can't issue them.
We do not. Right. No, we do not have authority. That happens through a whole other process.
That authority comes from courts, but as an attorney at the Peace at Home shelter shares, even the courts encounter roadblocks.
The barrier is that someone has experienced a vast amount of abuse, and it's mental abuse and verbal abuse, but it hasn't quite reached the hurdle of being that physical abuse or threat of physical abuse, but it's escalating.
Akayla shares that courts have their limits on what they can enforce because, as she describes, those who are accused of domestic violence have rights as well.
And so in that court hearing, this abuser can then ask their victims questions in an attempt to not have an order of protection put in place.
This is one of the many reasons Akayla says it's difficult for victims to get the help they need.
They've dealt with that person for so long, the abuse that they've put them through for so long, and they've gotten the courage and the strength to go to the court and say what happened, and then they have their abuser coming back and using the same tactics sometimes that they were using during the relationship.
At the end of the day, law enforcement says even obtaining a protective order only goes so far, but that it's important victims reach out and seek help.
We would advocate that you notify us first and foremost. So many domestic violence cases and incidents go unreported.
In the meantime, now let's go back to Ashley King and a check of the traffic at this hour. Ashley?
Hey guys, yeah, it's kind of hard to find a shot that's really clear of what's going on right now on Interstate 40, but I was telling you there are a couple of accidents, and a few minutes ago it looked like they were around Mayflower, but a closer look, these are more in the Conway area. So let's take a closer look at what's going on with our live traffic map, because if you're coming in from Conway, it's definitely going to slow you down with these accidents. And this one here is on 40 eastbound before exit 129. It is off to the right-hand shoulder. And then we have one just a little ways down the road here, also off to the right-hand shoulder. But this is on I-40 eastbound after exit 135. You can see traffic is moving a lot slower in this area around Lake Conway, 35 miles per hour here on 40 eastbound. So drive times in from downtown Little Rock are definitely, or from Conway into downtown Little Rock, going to slow down there. This is another accident in Benton. This is I-30 eastbound near exit 118 with the right shoulder blocked. It doesn't look like any slowdown, so it is off to the shoulder. People are getting around this okay, but just something to be aware of if you're coming in from Saline County. Now to our slowdowns, if you're coming in on the North Terminal interchange, maybe from Cabot, Jacksonville, this is what you're going to encounter. It is moving a little bit slow there on 57 southbound. It was 167 around McCain, 45 miles per hour. Not bad. It looks like it's starting to slow down on 40 westbound there at the North Hills Boulevard, and then we're seeing some slowdowns there right after the interchange when you're getting on I-30 southbound, 47 miles per hour. And then going back to 30 eastbound here in front of the Bass Pro Shop, right before you get to the 430 interchange, and around Alexander, we're moving a little bit slow. Getting to those drive times in from downtown Little Rock, Conway is a lot slower because of those accidents that are on Interstate 40. 27 minutes to downtown. Still looks good though coming in from Saline County and Cabot. So we'll check this here in just a few minutes. Hopefully those accidents will be clear. Nathan?
Thank you, Ashley. Out there this morning, it is chilly. We've got numbers into the upper 20s to lower 30s, but it's going to be a warmer day, all because of a breeze from the south-southwest, about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Will allow the numbers to climb up into the low 50s around lunchtime, 1 o'clock, and highs today, low to mid 50s are on tap. But you notice also the clouds will be on the increase. So sunshine will fade throughout the day, but we're dry. Chance of showers enters the equation going into tonight and also into Wednesday. Along with that, the numbers will continue to climb. 60s. That's what I'm expecting on Thursday. I'll have more on that complete 7-day forecast coming up.